dear sleepwalkers. It's Weirwood Whispers. Welcome back to the quiet side of the night. Soften your shoulders and let your breathing slow. You don't have to follow every word. Just stay close and listen. So, let the whispers start. The heavy iron hinges creak once, only once. Then silence returns. That wide, deep northern silence. Jon rides out in front on horseback. Beyond the gate is gray and open. The sky is the color of lead. The clouds are low and motionless, as if they had already been waiting there for a long time. It is not snowing. It simply is. On the ground, above, in the air, as small crystals hanging. Jon does not stop his horse. The rhythm of the walk is calm, the steps one by one. The shadow of the wall first falls long over him, then shortens, then withdraws completely. The light changes, the cold does not change. Behind, Tormund comes on his horse. There is no sound. There is only the sound of hooves, muffled on the snow, lightened, almost dreamlike. Tormund does not say anything. This is an unusual thing for him, but the North does this sometimes. It silences even those whose mouths are open. Ghost follows behind them. His large white body almost merges with the snow. Only his eyes are noticed, bright, red, calm, focused. For a moment he moves alongside Jon's horse, then speeds up and goes ahead. There is no sound. There is a track, large paw prints, noticeable on the snow. The last of the wildlings remaining behind come out of the gate. Among them there are the elderly, there are children, there are women carrying supplies. The men hold weapons, but not with a war march, out of habit. In the North, walking unarmed is a forgotten skill. No one makes a sound. The group moves large and heavy, but slowly. Jon looks back once. The wall is still there, its gigantic mass, ice blue, reaching into the sky. But the gate is closed now. The sound of a closing gate is different. It sounds not like an ending, but like a separation. Jon does not say anything to it, even inside himself. He only looks. Then he turns forward. He moves toward the forest. First single trees, old pines spaced apart, with branches on the ground. Then, closer to each other. Then, suddenly, much denser. The light changes, softer, more filtered, gray but a different gray. The shadows are not even here, broken, striped, divided by bands of light seeping between the tree trunks. Jon does not see these as if making a calculation. He just sees. The eye gets used to it. The body gets used to it. The horse's steps now sound different. There is soil under it, covered with snow, but there is no hard ground, a flexible surface. With each step, a slight rustle, a slight sinking. The rhythm does not change, but the sound changes. Ghost stops once, beside a tree, his head raised, his ears upright. Jon also stops his horse. There is nothing, at least, there is nothing visible. There is not even wind at that moment. The forest is as if breathing, deep and slow. Ghost stands for a few more seconds, then continues to walk. Jon also continues. The group behind also follows them. There is no explanation for this silence. This is not disturbing, only complete, a full silence, not empty. Jon feels this, not with a word, with a weight, not in the chest, deeper, somewhere in the breath. The first minutes of the journey pass like this. Then the wind shows itself, low, distant, the kind that passes over the tops of the trees. It moves not the trunks, but the branches. It sheds snow downward, not in large pieces, like dust, slowly. A tuft falls onto Jon's shoulder, cold but not unexpected. In the north, everything is not unexpected. Only some things are forgotten. Then Tormund mutters something. Jon continues as if he has not heard. But he has heard. Tormund's voice sounds different in this forest, a little lower, a little more careful. This is different for him, too. The trees grow even denser. The width of the path shortens. The horses cannot move side by side anymore. Jon speeds up forward, Tormund a few steps behind. The wildling group stretches backward, goes out of sight. But there are sounds, footsteps, small murmurs, now and then a child's voice. These do not lose Jon. Those sounds are like a rope, coming from behind, thin, but strong. Ghost is still moving ahead. He goes straight, without hesitation, without looking right or left, as if there is a road he knows, or something is pulling him. Jon trusts this. He has trusted many things in his life and been mistaken, but Ghost has not misled him. The inside of the forest is as if it produces its own light. Snow has accumulated everywhere, on tree bark, on stretched branches, on the ground. This whiteness illuminates in some way. There is no sun, but it is not night either. An in-between light, both enough and not exactly too much. Jon takes one deep breath. The air is cold and pine-scented. This air he breathes is familiar. The mind perceives it as known. It does not produce worry. It produces memory. The first time he passed beyond the wall, years ago, this air was like this. Not the same, similar, low, clean, a little hard. Jon does not hold this inside. He lets it go out with the breath. The forest continues along the path. The road turns slightly, then it straightens again. In the sky, the clouds move. This movement is seen through the gaps of the trees. Slow and consistent, the wind continues to stay low. But, as if it has come a little closer, it has now begun to catch not only the tops but the trunks as well. The trees tremble slightly, very little, but they tremble. Ghost looks back once. He looks at Jon. Then he turns forward and continues. This is enough. This was always enough. Underfoot, under the horse's hoof, with each step a different sound comes out, sometimes hard and short, on frozen surfaces, sometimes soft and long, in deep, fresh piles. Jon distinguishes this difference now, not with his eye, with his ears. He understands what the road is by its sound. This knowledge is not a word, body knowledge, bone knowledge. Morning has advanced. The sky is still gray, but a different gray, a little whiter, a little wider. The light seeping from the tops of the trees is no longer in stripes. It has spread in the form of broader surfaces. The snow takes this light and reflects it back. Not blue, not white, something between the two. The horse's steps continue. 1, 1, 1. Tormund's horse is directly behind. The rhythm of the hooves overlaps with Jon's, sometimes at the exact same time, sometimes shifted by half a step. This shift comes and goes. For a short time, a difference forms. Then it overlaps again. Jon continues to hear this without being aware, but he hears it. Ghost is quieter. His steps do not come out. His large paws step on the snow, but there is no sound, as if the snow receives Ghost's weight differently, or Ghost steps differently. Jon has never questioned this. Some things do not want a question. Their existence is enough. The path rises a little. It is not obvious, but it is there. The horses work more. The steps slow down a little. Jon feels this in his knees, in his balance on the saddle. In the north, even flatness is not flat. Everything is sloped towards somewhere. Everything is as if it would end somewhere. The wind changes. That low treetop wind from the beginning of the morning has left its place to something else, more perceptible now. It is not clear which direction it comes from. Inside the forest, the wind increases its force, turning among the trees, losing its direction. Jon feels it on his face, left cheek, then right ear, cold but not angry, as if curious, as if it is scanning something. Tormund slowly increases his speed. He brings his horse level with Jon's. The path has now widened a little. For a while he does not say anything. This does not last long. "Is this place familiar to you?" Tormund says. His voice is low. The forest swallows its sound. Jon thinks. He looks at the trees, trunks, shapes, the distance between them. Something stirs in his memory, but does not fully settle. "I don't know," he says. Maybe, without asking more, he pulls his horse back. This is enough. In the north, answers like this are enough. Sound returns. Only steps, wind, now and then the creak of the trees. This creak comes slowly, like the release of an accumulated pressure, not a crack, a long and dragging sound. Then it ends. The forest continues. The sound of the children in the group is sometimes heard from the front. Not words, only sound, short and high, then muffled. The adults silence them, not harshly, quietly. Jon keeps following these sounds. They continue to exist, behind, like a sign. After a while, the snow thickens, not on the ground, in the air. The wind lifts the snow like a thin cloud of mist and drags it ahead like a cloud. Ghost passes through it. The white body disappears inside the white mist, then comes out again. His ears appear first, then his back, then all of him. Jon watches this. For a moment, the eye is surprised. That moment when it is not clear whether it is ghost or snow. The wind calms. The snow cloud disperses. The journey continues. Before noon, a stream comes out in front of them. Narrow, flowing slowly. The tops of the stones are frozen, but the middle is still liquid. The sound of the water comes out different, low, muffled, that strange, hollow sound coming from under the ice. Jon stops his horse. He looks at the stream. In a few steps, from stone to stone, without hesitating at all. Even the water does not wet him. Jon walks his horse. The horse hesitates for a moment, then enters. The cold water comes up to the upper part of the boots. Jon does not feel it. There is thick leather, but he knows. The crossing is short. On the other bank, the ground hardens again. Tormund's horse crosses a little more harshly. Water splashes. A short sound comes out. Tormund does not say anything. He climbs to the bank silently. As the group behind crosses the stream, the sound increases. Footsteps, water sound, murmurs. Then it decreases. Then everything returns to the forest again. In the afternoon, the trees begin to thin slowly. First the gaps widen, then the sun is seen more fully. Then the sky shows itself wide and pale blue. This change is not audible, it is visual. But the visual change also has an effect on sound. In the open, the sounds are less broken up. They come more flat. Ghost stops, this time longer. His head raised, his nostrils widened. He takes in air. Then he looks in one direction. Jon looks in that direction. Between the trees, a little to the left, there is something. Not a color, an emptiness. A place where the trees end. An open area. Tormund comes to his side. "This is it," he says. One sentence, but full inside. Jon nods. He turns his horse in that direction. The place of lodging is near. The sound does not change, but the weight of the air changes. It makes you pause a little more. It says, "Enough for now, a little more." Jon notices this. Ghost has already noticed. His steps have changed, not like running, but purposeful. The wind now comes from behind. Low, constant, as if pushing, as if, in this last part of the journey, it moves a little ahead. The forest makes a sound one last time. From above, deep, long a creak. Then it falls silent. Jon pauses for a moment before getting off his horse. He looks at the open area where the forest ends. The snow is deeper. The wind held on between the trees, carried it up to here, piled it. The ground is not flat, a slight hollow, an irregular rim rising around it. But this shape is not accidental. Once, hands worked here. The earth was dug, stones were placed, something was built. Jon gets off his horse slowly. His feet step on the snow. The cold immediately makes itself felt. When the body becomes motionless, the wind does more work. Jon accepts this and starts walking. The area is large, maybe 20, maybe 30 steps wide. In the center of the area, a mound is noticed, not round, angular. It could be stone. It could be a hearth place. Jon approaches. He extends his hand and clears the snow. He rubs it aside with his palm. From under it, a stone appears, not black, gray, but soot-stained. Long ago, the smell comes, but it is there. Not ash exactly. Something under the ashes. Older, more compressed. Burned wood, maybe leather, maybe bone. belonging to years ago. Was Jon here before? He does not know. Maybe. The north is large, but the roads pass into each other, or the smell itself is familiar, a common smell that exists in all northern lodgings. Wildling fire, wildling hearth. This does not take him to his childhood, but it takes him to another time. To the nights he kept watch, to the top of the wall, to the moments when hands tried to warm one last time before freezing. Tormund is walking around on the other side of the area. He examines silently. His hands sometimes touch the snow, sometimes lift a stone, sometimes he just stops and looks. Jon watches him. This makes Tormund interesting. Normally, he is not the one who examines. He is the one who speaks. But here he too understands with this place silently. The old guide comes, separated from the group, with cautious steps. His face is not open. Thick fur clothes, hood, but his eyes are open. He walks across the area, not like Jon. More straight he goes to certain points. Somewhere he bends, looks at the ground. He stands up. He goes to another place. A lot has been sat here, he says at the end. He does not speak Jon's language either. He says it in the wildling language. Jon understands, not word for word. He understands from the tone, from gestures, from the direction of the eyes. Jon nods. Obvious. The old man does not say more. Ghost was circling the area. Slowly he comes to the middle and lies down. The large body sits onto the snow with a heavy sound, his head extended forward, his nose brought close to the cold ground. He smells, slowly, not in a systematic way, from one place to another. Then he lifts his head. His eyes stay on the hearthstones for a while. Jon watches this. Sometimes the animal knows before the human. Sometimes the place where the animal stops is the place where the human should stop. Nostalgia is not a word for this moment. The word is too big, too proper. This is smaller, a feeling, a weight, but not uneasy. Something like this. Others have sat here. They have spent long nights. They have been tired. They have slept. They have woken. They have drawn the same cold air into themselves. They have looked at the same fire. They have gone. The place has remained. Is this sad? Maybe. But at the same time, something else. The place carried them and then released them. Now it is waiting for new people. This is like wanting to continue, not to end. Jon takes a deep breath. Pine, ash, cold earth, a distant dampness. These four things come at the same time, and Jon does not separate them. He takes all of them at once. The children come to the edge of the area. They stop. They look at the clearing. One goes inside first. The others wait. Then all of them slowly come inside. Their sounds are now less. The area has calmed them too. The adults also come, with their loads, with their animals. The area begins to fill, but it still remains silent. A crowd can be silent. This is a known thing in this geography. Tormund comes to the side of the hearth. He stands beside Jon. Good place, he says. Yes, Jon says. Tormund does not continue. The two of them look at the snow-covered stones, at the old soot marks, at the years gathered in the slightly hollow ground of the area, to build on this, to add something on top of this, not to start from the beginning, to continue. This is how the North works. The North does not like new beginnings. It likes adding on top of old things. Every lodging is on top of the previous one. Every hearth is inside the ashes of the previous one. This is not a choice. This climate, this soil, these people. The wind comes again. This time it passes through the area, not from outside the trees, from inside. It lifts snow dust, turns it a little, then lets it go. Jon feels this on his face. Cold, familiar. He does not close his eyes. He keeps them open and looks. The wind passes. The dust falls. The area settles again, and in that moment something happens, small, silent. Jon understands that he is in this place, not only geographically, in another way too. This is right. He cannot fully express why it is right. There is no calculation to this decision, but the body knows. Where he stands, it lightens. Something loosens on the shoulders. The breath lengthens a little. Ghost stands up. He comes to the side of the hearthstones. He stands beside Jon. He makes warmth felt. A large animal, dense fur, closeness. Jon extends one hand. He puts it on Ghost's back. He does not lift it. He only leaves it there. This is the connection, not a word, a weight. The old guide looks from a distance. He turns his gaze to the other end of the area. He does not say anything, but he lowers his head slightly. This is not like approval, something quieter, like recognition. Yes, here. Yes, this place. The day is still there, but it has decreased. The light is more slanted. The shadows have lengthened. The shadow of the trees has begun to enter the area. The sense of time changes. There is no need to hurry, but one also cannot stand idle. Something between the two. People are preparing to start work. Not yet, but near. Jon looks at the area once more. The hearth place, the empty hollow, the old stones. Something will be built on these. Fire will burn between these stones. People will sit on this ground. Children will run in this clearing. This is coming, but not yet now. Now this place only stands. And Jon also stands. And this is enough. There is the fatigue of the morning journey, but no one stops. This fatigue is different. The body knows such fatigues. It wants work from them, not stillness. Jon knows this too. He has tied his horse to a tree, taken off his fur cloak, rolled up to the shoulders. The cold has come at once. Immediately it accepts no objection, but the hand holds, the fingers work. From the edge of the forest, wood comes first. Long and straight trunks, fallen, broken in the wind, or cut. Long ago, Jon drags a trunk. The weight comes to his waist. The heel opens a track in the ground. Together, two men, one trunk. There is sound, friction, snow, stone, wood. A rhythm forms in this too. Pull, stop, pull, stop. The stones must be placed. The hearth place will be enlarged. The old stones are very irregular. Some have slipped, some have broken. Jon grips the stone with his hands. The cold is different on this surface, solid and sharp. It immediately absorbs the warmth of the hand. He lifts the stone. Heavy, he carries it a few steps, leaves it in its place. He checks. Good. The next one. The cold surface of the stone, protruding in places, sharply cornered, in some places covered with moss, and even that moss is frozen. The hand reads these surfaces, not a word, a feeling. Which stone will stand firm, which stone will slip? He feels this knowledge with his hands. Then wood. A stone tool is used to cut straight. Most have no metal, but there is flint. Jon watches this for a while. Then he too takes it. The hand gets used to the rhythm. Strike, angle, again. The wood gives in slowly. It splits piece by piece. This work is loud, with each strike a short burst. Then the inner sound of the wood, that deep crack it makes as it opens up inside. Tormund is setting stakes. They will stretch the hide for the top cover, large animal hide, a few pieces together. Jon comes closer, introduces his hand to the hide. Hard, cold, but it has flexibility. It bends, it resists, then it yields. Both hands work at once. One hand holds, the other passes the rope. The rope is thin, but strong. This rope, made from animal hide, it has no color, it has texture. It passes under the fingers. It feels every fiber. Tying a knot is like thinking with the hands. The brain does not fully work. The hands decide. Jon does not know which knot he will throw at the word, but his hands know. Movement first, then result. Tormund places a stake. Crooked, Jon says. Tormund looks. No, he says. Jon looks again. Tormund is right. It is not crooked. The ground is crooked. The stake is straight. Jon raises his head, looks at something else. The old guide is near the hearthstones, squatting. His hands are on the ground. What he is doing is not fully seen, but systematic. He is arranging something, or cleaning, or checking. From time to time he stands up, looks at a stone, squats again. He does not speak at all. His hands speak for him. Jon comes closer. The area around the hearth place is now orderly. The stones are lined up, not evenly spaced, but consistent. In the middle, a small hollow has been opened. Hands have scraped the earth. The inside is clean. It looks as if it is ready for use. Good work, Jon says. The old man looks. Then he bends again to his stick. This is not taking approval. The work continues. The day advances. The light changes. More slanted now. The shadows of the trees have lengthened. They stretch more into the area. The cold also increases. Together with the sun changing its place, the air hardens. The hands work more without being aware of it. The body warms itself with work. Ghost is at the edge of the area. Sometimes he sits. Sometimes he stands up and walks around. The children try to come close to him. Some are brave. Some look from a distance. Ghost acts as if he does not see them. But he sees. Ghost continues to watch around. One child comes very close. Jon sees this. He prepares to stop it, but Ghost turns and looks at the child, long, calm, with red eyes. The child freezes, then he pulls back. Ghost turns his head again. Nothing happened, but everything was understood. In the middle of the afternoon, the roof is completed. Not big, 4 people fit, 5 squeezed, but it is standing and consistent. The hide has been stretched, the stakes have been set, the rope has been tied. Jon reaches out and holds one corner. He shakes it. It moves a little, but it does not collapse. This is enough. In the north, the ones that are enough are the ones that hold. Tormund holds from the opposite corner. Strong, he says. Enough, Jon says. There is a difference between strong and enough. Tormund believes in strong, Jon in enough. Both are right, just different points of view. This is not argued, it is accepted. Wood is piled for the fire, straight cut pieces, short in a size that will fit the hearth place. Jon carries these. Each time a few pieces, weight in the hands. This weight goes to the arm. Again. The pile grows. There is bone, too. Large animal bone. Accumulated, old. Some have come out of the remains of the old lodging. These too will go to the fire in time. Bone burns well, burns long, keeps warm. Jon lifts one. Light, hollow inside. Its surface is smooth, its coldness is different. Different from stone, different from wood. Bone cold is something else. Simpler. It neither gives nor takes. He leaves it on the pile. The day decreases. This is a visual fact. The light has withdrawn. The sky has darkened. The tops of the trees have now blended with the sky. That moment between day and evening, everything is still visible, but no longer clear. Jon looks at his hands, reddened from the cold. There are cracks in some places, a small scratch next to one finger. These are not complaint, record. The hand shows what it did. Jon examines his palm for a few minutes only. Then he rubs his hands. Heat comes, small, short, but real. It started small, a spark, a breath, then holding on, now regular. The hearthstones have warmed. This warmth has worked into the stone. It gives out slowly outward. The flames are low. It does not blow. It does not leap upward. A calm fire. Self-assured. Jon sits opposite the hearth, his knees pulled up, his back upright, but not with forcing, with habit. Hands on the knees, palms down, eyes on the fire. This is not looking, joining the rhythm of the fire. The flame changes its shape every few seconds. Sometimes it leans to the left, sometimes it floats in the middle, sometimes it suddenly grows, then shrinks. Jon does not follow these consciously, but the eyes follow. Breathing is calm, in, out. Steam comes out. With the heat of the fire, it is now less visible. Before, every breath was like a cloud, now thinner, shorter. This is the sign of the heat. Tormund sits on the opposite side, on the other side of the fire, half of his face in the light, half in the shadow. He is eating something, silently, without drawing attention. Jon sees this, but does not say it. Tormund does not like to speak while eating at these hours. This is not habit. It is respect. Respect for the food, respect for the silence. The old guide is farther away. At a point where the light of the hearth barely reaches, he is not squatting. He is lying down, resting his head on a load bag. It is not clear whether his eyes are open or closed in this light, but he is breathing. His chest rises, falls, slowly. Ghost is beside Jon, not back to back, on Jon's right, a little behind. His head has gone down to the ground, the eyes half closed, but the ears are upright. This is Ghost's "I am not sleeping" state. The body is resting, the mind is on watch. Jon knows this. He has learned over the years. As long as Ghost's ears are upright, everything outside is in order. There are steps. Within the group, people are moving, settling, sitting. Some have already lain down. The children have quieted. A few still move, but slow, tired movements. The day has exhausted them. Journey, arrival, work, cold. These together pull down. The sound of steps decreases. 1, 1, 1. Then more sparse. Then very sparse. Then none. Breaths remain. Collective breath. One regular. One a little deep. One lightly wheezy. The breath of those who sleep. Jon knows these sounds. Once, on top of the wall in tower rooms, after returning from watch, he would hear sounds like this, the breath of dozens of men gathered in one room, sinking into the night, one by one. This is happening here, too, in more open, cooler air, but the same sound. Collective breath. Jon throws wood into the hearth. One piece, small, straight. The flame grows for a moment, then draws back, then embraces the new wood. Sound comes out, crackling, a small pop, then a new rhythm. The wood joins the fire. "Are you keeping watch?" he says. His voice is low, a real question, not mocking. Jon thinks, "I don't know," he says. "Maybe I'm only sitting." Tormund nods. Sometimes they are the same thing. This is true. Jon does not answer, because an answer is not needed. Tormund lies down. He gathers the furs, wraps them around his body. His eyes do not close immediately. For a while he looks at the fire, then they close. His breathing changes. After 1, 2, 3 breaths, the rhythm has changed. Sleep lasts this long sometimes. It does not decide, it comes. Jon is left alone. Not exactly. There is Ghost. There is the old man far away. There are the breaths of the sleeping. But there is no one speaking, no one moving. This is not loneliness. A silent crowd. Jon shifts a step. He does not stand up. He only changes his position. He extends one leg, bends the other. The ground is cold but not stone. Earth, compressed. This difference makes itself felt. Earth is cold in another way, a deep cold, different from the surface cold of stone. Earth, cold, is patient, waiting, but at the same time it also gives off something, not dampness, not weight, like a determination. The earth is there, always lies there, whatever comes on top of it. The fire crackles. Jon looks. The flame has leaned to the left. There is wind from somewhere, very little, but there is. The flame felt it. Jon feels it too, not in his ear, in the back of his neck. Slight. It passes. The forest is different at this hour. The trees are not visible anymore. The night has taken them. But they have sounds. The wind passes between the trunks, low, constant, wavy. Sometimes it increases, sometimes it almost disappears, then returns. This repetition is not repetition. Each time a little different, a little in another tone, but always there. Jon listens to this sound. The ear processes it in the background, not in the foreground. In the foreground, there is fire, there is breath, there is silence. In the background, the sound of the forest, the two together, this fullness, this moment. Watch was something like this once, cold and long and seeming meaningless, passing hour by hour. But sometimes, rarely, this would happen. The moment would start to carry itself. There would be no need to think. It would be enough to look. It would be enough to hear. It would be enough to be. This is happening now, too. Jon is not keeping watch technically. No one has assigned him to this duty. There is no tower he commands, no duty he will hand over. But he is sitting there beside the hearth, his eyes open, his ears open. The group is sleeping. This is enough of a definition. Ghost moves once. He lifts his head, the ears more upright. He looks in one direction, toward the forest, toward the darkness. Jon also looks in that direction. Nothing is visible. There is no sound either. At least there is no changing sound. A few seconds pass. Ghost lowers his head. Jon breathes in, long, slow. He lets it out. The fire continues. The flames have lowered. Half the wood has been consumed. Jon throws in one more piece. Small. He does not want to make it too big. The night is long. The wood is limited. This is the balance. Not much, not little. Enough. Tormund's breathing is regular. The old guide's breathing is regular. The group's breathing is regular. Ghost's breathing is regular. 5 separate rhythms, unaware of each other, but together. The same cold air goes in. The same cold air goes out. This shared thing, this simplest sharing. The fire leans. It returns. It continues. Jon does not close his eyes, but he does not force either. Eyes on the fire calm, the night deep, the forest sound, low, 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 breath in, breath out. The wind comes, passes, goes, and this rhythm continues, silently, steadily, one by one. The fire grows small. There are no flames now. There are embers, red, orange, and places turning to white. Embers live differently than fire, silent, turned inward, eating itself, but not hurrying. Jon watches this. The sky has opened. The clouds are gone. There are stars, many, dense, white dot upon white dot. Jon lifts his head. The sky is seen through the trees, fragmented, broken, but each piece complete. The stars of the north shine in another way, a colder light, farther. Breath is still visible, thin, little, but with each exhale it is there, a short cloud, then gone, a short cloud, then gone. The forest is silent, the trees are motionless. This is not complete silence. There is never complete silence in the north. But at this hour, the sounds have become very small, very deep. It takes effort now to be heard. Jon listens. There is something far away, not sound exactly, something like the absence of sound. In the forest, far back, a fullness, indescribable, no explanation. Jon knows this and does not seek its explanation. The north contains such things, without a name, without a reason, but existing. This does not frighten him. He is curious, only that much. Ghost looks asleep. The large body has fallen, the breathing deep and regular. But Jon knows the ears are still slightly upright. Ghost does not let himself go fully into sleep. This is his nature, the same as Jon's. The embers crackle, once short, then silence returns. Tormund stirs. He turns from one side to the other. He does not stop. His breathing does not change. Sleep continues. Only the body looks for something, finds it, calms. Jon looks. Then he looks elsewhere. The hearthstones hold the light, the surfaces that hands touched during the day, now in the light of the embers. The stones warmed during the day, now they slowly release this heat, like a gift given late. As the night grows colder, the stones give heat. When morning comes, the stones will have cooled too. This is exchange. This is balance. Jon has never asked himself this so directly, but now he asks, what does the night want? No answer comes. The night does not answer. It only continues. This too is an answer. The old guide does not move. Far away, in the same place, in the same position. His chest rises, falls, rises. This rhythm is the most regular rhythm. No thought mixes into it. Sleep breathes like this, clean, complete. Jon looks at his own breath. He becomes aware of it. When breath is become aware of it, changes a little. It slows, deepens. The body knows what it needs to do. It only asks for permission. The embers dim. The light decreases. The area looks wider in the darkness. The boundaries have gone. The trees have mixed into the night. Only near things remain. Embers, stones, Ghost's pale white fur. Near, far, and between them, Jon. He does not think anything. This is not exactly true to say. There are thoughts, but superficial. They pass. They do not stop. Like the wind, it comes, it passes, it leaves no trace. The wall left a trace before. The journey left, the hands left. But now the thoughts pass. This is a good thing. The North does this sometimes. It empties the inside of the mind. It does not fill it with something else. It only leaves it empty. Empty, but not heavy. Light, Ghost breathes. Jon breathes. The embers breathe as if they shrink, they grow, they shrink. The stars are in place. The trees are in place. The stones continue to give their heat, slowly, silently. Jon does not close his eyes yet, but the lids have become heavy, noticeably, a weight, soft, coming not from above, from inside. The body asks. Jon listens. The embers crackle once more, very small, almost none. Then the forest sound comes, from very far, from very low. Not wind, something else. It has no name. It comes and passes. Jon lets go. The shoulders lower. The breath lengthens. 1, 2. Ghost's fur glows very slightly in the light. And the night continues. Calm. Deep. Complete.